Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike, the premier business radio program in Central Virginia. I'm your host, Mike King. I appreciate you being here with me. Today, it is a very special day for us. We're coming to you live from Magnolia Greens. It is the Richmond Region Tourism Foundation Golf Tournament. We got an luminary of stars, but we're starting off with my man, Jack Berry. Jack, welcome to the program.
Mike, good to be with you again. Last time I was with you was also in Chesterfield County as well.
You know what? I'm sure we're making Dr. Casey happy.
Sure he is.
Exactly. Every time we're just meeting up. Okay, so today is a very big day. People know who you guys are, Richmond Region Tourism, from the tourism aspect. But today we're here to help the foundation.
So the foundation is supporting educational programs with the hospitality community. And so we raise the monies, and it also funds the I Am Tourism program that people can come for free of charge. And it's been virtual, of course, but we're getting it back to in person. And all they have to do is go to the website at visitrichmondva.com, register for I Am Tourism, and they can learn about their destination.
It is a pleasure when we're out here with Richmond Region Tourism, all the great things we're doing. I'd like to thank Jack for having us here. And we're going to go on. We got a list of stars we got to get to.
Yes. Got a lot of people out here. It's the biggest attendance we've ever had.
Can beat that. Coming out of COVID, you guys shine like rock stars.
Well, we're very blessed in Central Virginia because in the travel industry, and July was one of our best months ever. And it was family and friends driven by tourism as well as the leisure tour. And so a lot of people are coming off the interstate to visit us, visit the attractions, the restaurants, and staying at the hotels. And we had a very good July, very good August.
Thinking back to when I talked to you a year ago, to be able to say that.
Well, we only thought the thing was going to last 2 months.
I know. We're like, okay, 2 months, we're good.
So we, closed down March 13th. It was Friday the 13th. We had 4,000 women at the convention center with AKA. And we thought, okay, this is mid-March. So by mid-May, we should be back in business. Well, even today, with the Delta strain out there, it's going to set us back for September and a little bit of October. So we're not out of this. And we just encourage everybody to get vaccinated and just, young and old, just get vaccinated.
On the Mic with Mike, we are here, Magnolia Green. It is the Richmond Region Tourism. I'd like to thank Mr. Berry for coming through. We're going to get on to some of the other folks. Thank you, sir. All right.
Always a pleasure.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks. Now, Thanks. On the Mic with Mike, ESPN Richmond 106.1 is where you find us. We're just going to keep things rolling along. We have JC. Okay. Yeah. On the Mic with Mike, we are back. JC is with us. JC, congratulations on the promotion.
Thanks, Mike. Always good to be on, buddy.
All right, you guys have pulled out all the stops today. Outstanding, some great sponsors. You are here with us today. We're going to talk a little bit about that.
Awesome, Mike. It's a great environment, great weather out here today, but we're blessed to have all of our great partners out here. We've really combined efforts with our golf tournament here, the annual Richmond Region Open Golf Tournament, presented by Colonial Downs and Rosie's, and it's just fantastic to have them out here and all of our partners that support both our golf tournament and the inaugural RVA Sports Awards that we've talked with you so much about. And we're 4 or 5 months out from that event, but nominations launched last week, and we're just excited to have our partners out here today to kick things off and kick off autumn here.
It's always a good thing. One of the great parts about having a radio show is you get to meet people and organizations who are doing big things. I always hear about Colonial Downs. I always see what Rosie's is doing big things in the community. I got my shot.
Dude,
I got my shot.
Not a boy, Mike.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we do here. ESPN Richmond, Mike King. JC is with us. We're going to take a break for a moment, and then we're going to bring in the host. The guys, he is your sponsor, your title sponsor.
Presenting sponsor. The Richmond Region Open.
All righty. On the Mic with Mike, ESPN Richmond 106.1, 5 to 7 a.m. Let's step on in here. Mike King.
Good morning, Mike. John Marshall.
John Marshall, glad to meet you. So your reputation precedes you. You guys are doing big things in the community.
It's an honor to be part of this community with Colonial Downs and Rosie's. We are very active in the communities and every community that we operate, and it's a real pleasure. Happy to be here.
All righty. Give us the idea of you partnering with Richmond Region Tourism to be the presenting sponsor here. How does that happen?
Colonial Downs Live Racing, recipient of the New Attraction Award in 2019. with the revival of live racing at Colonial Downs. We revived racing after a 6-year hiatus, and we brought a high level of quality, champion level thoroughbred racing, which has made a mark on the national scene. So with that recognition, we're happy to be part of Richmond Regional Tourism as we feather in our Rosie's operations, and coming soon to Rosie's Richmond.
Oh, wait a second, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we do here. We break news.
Breaking news, first time spoken on the air with Mike on ESPN Radio.
It don't get any better than that. What you guys got going on?
The Playbook, Sports Bar and Grill, coming soon to Midlothian Turnpike at Rosie's Richmond. Date to be determined, but it'll be here soon.
The Playbook.
The Playbook is a brand new, unique sports bar experience that integrates live entertainment, the big game on Saturdays, Sundays, every day of the week, all sports. At all levels.
At all sports at all levels. One of the great things that we do here is we always talk about business and community. We're going through the pandemic, and we know Rosie's is an organization where you go and gamble and have fun. We see Rosie's totally stepping up and helping the community. Let's talk about all the things that you see. You can't blow your own horn, but I can.
Thank you,
I can
Mike.
tell what we're seeing, what you guys are doing out there. Explain to the listeners why that's so important.
Thank you, Mike. It's very important. We have a organization internal called Rosie's Gives Back, and we pledge to give back $100,000 a year per location in the communities that we operate. You know, some things that we've done so far is we've adopted Miles Jones Elementary School in Richmond as one of our recipients, and we've been working with Principal Shaw to continue those contributions and raise the level of education for the students in the city there. Each quarter we grant our pledges, around $25,000 a quarter per location. And we also have what we call charity Tito bins, where people at Rosie's that have a Tito ticket with less than $1 on it, they can drop it in to the recipient of the charity. We like to focus on veterans programs and education. Another thing we have going, we call Project 52, and Project 52 is we award $1,000 per week to a charity partner in our marketplaces.
Wow, that's big. You know, a lot of these organizations, the big ones, people know about them. They get a lot of love. They get funding. When you're able to drop something on that, like on a smaller group, that really has an impact.
Yeah, there are 3 levels of our value system. It's service, quality, and community. So community is thought of first amongst everything that we do, and we're proud to embrace our communities who have embraced us and welcomed us into theirs.
Well, we'd like to thank you for coming on ESPN Richmond. And thanks for the breaking news. Whenever you guys have to, you know where to come now. You're part of the family.
We know. Mike,
but
you've
you're
heard it here
already-
with Mike.
You're already on ESPN. Now, that's Mitchell and those guys here. We got to make sure you get to 5 to 7 a.m. That's where the magic happens. I'm the
Gotcha.
only guy there not talking sports really, so this is really something here.
Well, you heard it first.
There we
With
go.
Mike,
That's what we do.
the Playbook.
ESPN Richmond, the Playbook coming to Midlothian, right down there at Rosie's. We'd like to thank you for coming on. Have
Thank
a
you,
good
Mike.
day.
You
All righty,
too.
take care. On the mic with Mike. We are here at the Richmond Region Tourism Golf Tournament today. We're keeping things moving here. We got the man whose house we're. We got the big dog here. We got Dr. Casey. Jack Barry said, every time I see you, we're in Chesterfield. What do you guys rolling out the red carpets again for us?
Well, Mike, that's what you get when you have 460 plus square miles. You just can't help but drive too far without running into
Exactly.
Chesterfield
What
County.
you do is you one time I see you up here, the next time we're down here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dr. Joe Casey, who is here with us, Chesterfield County leader. He is here talking about all the great things happening in Chesterfield. We're here at the Richmond Region Tourism Golf Tournament. That's what we are today. Welcome back, sir.
Well, thank you, Mike. It's a pleasure to be here. What a great day. It's been 2 years since we've hosted this tournament. So everyone talks about what does it look like to get back to normal. This is, again, one of probably the 1,000 things that we have to have on a list to getting something done. Many of these friends and partners over the last year and a half, they've suffered. I mean, this is the industry: hotel, restaurants, hospitality, entertainments. You know, they have made it though. You know, they made it to come back and, play golf one more time. And again, the great thing is in Chesterfield, at least, we had 518 restaurants a year and a half ago. We have 514 restaurants and related establishments today. So we only lost 4. And again, some of my brothers and sisters in other parts of the state, I know some of them lost 1 out of every 5. So we're happy that they figured out how to stay in business, and we're happy that the customers came to them, takeout, curbside, or whatever else it took.
You guys, I know we always give a shout out to Danielle Fitzhugh. Chesterfield is open for business. You guys weathered the pandemic. You know, you really reached out and helped the businesses that are out there. We talked to you a year ago. Didn't know how things were going. How are things in Chesterfield now?
Well, again, a shout out to Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce and Danielle, as you referenced. Everyone should have on their bucket list to attend one of those meetings. I was just amazed over the last year and a half, even with some of their virtual meetings. They introduced new members every time, and 10 new people stood up every meeting saying they were a brand new member, meaning they're a new employee or a new business. So those are the things that make it good. Again, being here in Magnolia Green, a Homerama neighborhood from a couple of years ago with great quality of life and living, building a new elementary school right in the middle of it so kids can walk to school, and just an idyllic setting for today.
Alrighty, where's some new and exciting things happening with Chesterfield County that you want to let the listeners know about?
Well, right here, just to the north of us, we had acquired the property of about 2,000 acres, again, to try and build new schools, libraries, better road networks. The Powhite Parkway will eventually come to Hull Street. Buying that property to the north helps us align that road. The River City Sportsplex, one of our big tourism attractions, one of the things that survived, outdoor entertainment, outdoor sports, we're able to survive longer. We are building out more fields and returfing the fields for the best quality possible. We acquired the land next to River City Sportsplex for even more ideas and innovation. The water park, hopefully post-pandemic, will come back online. We're right next to the Richmond Metro Zoo. Again, another outdoor attraction that survived and thrived during the pandemic as people could get out and about, and just their volume of people is off the charts. So the last thing is our Spring Rock Green by the Stonebridge area is again going to be a centerpiece for new activity, entertainment venues, hotels, and so forth. So I'm just off the charts excited for the businesses and people of Chesterfield and the Richmond region.
ESPN Richmond 106.1 on the mic with Mike. We're here. Dr. Casey is with us. Let's talk a little bit about the collaboration. We're here with the Richmond Region Tourism, the golf tournament. You guys have really schooled me on this is not a competition between Henrico, Chesterfield, Richmond City. As JC and everyone says, Tamara, when a person comes, their dollars don't know where they are. They just they came to Richmond.
That's right. We all have skin in the game of Richmond Regional Tourism. We set aside our lodging taxes and whatever else it takes to get it done. The day really almost after the pandemic started and when restaurants were shuttered, we got together with Richmond Regional Tourism, Chamber RVA, Chesterfield Chamber of Commerce, and the Greater Richmond Partnership to create loud signs. When these empty parking lots were arising, the businesses were still open. They needed to make an awareness. So we flooded the region with green signs saying we're open for takeout, delivery, curbside, whatever it took. The day where we were allowed to eat outside, we contacted the ABC, and as a region, we worked together to take these empty parking lots and make them tables for restaurants so they could serve their goods outside. We were the first to doing all that stuff, and that's why I think we survived better. And the businesses, to their credit, they love it. In fact, there may be parking lots of the future, sidewalks of the future that will stay as tables because people love the alfresco experience.
In 2019, if someone had come to you and said that would needed to be done, would you have thought that could have been done with everyone?
I think we would have handed them 10 pages of forms and regulations and zoning requirements. And we just said, you know what? Let's reverse engineer this baby. Let's work from what the business needs. And I give credit to the state. We needed ABC permission to actually serve alcohol outside in some of these areas. Within one day of some of the rulings that enabled the outside dining, they came through, and through clicks of buttons, you were good to go.
There you go. On the mic with Mike. Dr. Casey is with us. How can people find out all the great things and going on in Chesterfield?
Well, the old Chesterfield.gov is good, and you're going to love this one. We just launched a podcast. After talking to you last time, I said, we need to get on this business.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody needs to get in on this racket. It's pretty good. Look, we got the mayor right there. Colonial Heights. We got Anthony Romanello. They brought out all the luminaries right here.
It's an all-star day for an all-star team.
All righty. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you,
Casey,
sir.
on the mic with Mike. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks now. That's what I'm saying. I got the man. Look, it took Anthony Romanello coming all the way from Henrico. I got to come to Chesterfield to see the man. How you doing?
I'm doing, man.
All righty,
Well,
good.
Mike, how are you?
On the mic with Mike, we are rolling along. We got Anthony Romanello from Henrico Economic Development with us. Dr. Casey, take care now. As you can see, we're having a good time doing this.
It sure looks like it.
I
Mike.
know. My wife is like, don't have too much of a good time. You just explode on the weather's perfect.
It is. But you gonna play?
I don't, my game isn't up to par.
Oh man, that's why I play with the three guys I play with are great golfers because I'm so bad.
That's right. You let them, you're the guy pulling
Absolutely.
them down.
I make sure that they get enough drinks.
All righty, here we are. Anthony Romanello, Henrico Economic Development. He is also the sponsors of the Wednesdays on ESPN, talking about all the great things going on Business Wednesdays. You hear him, you hear his voice on the program, talking about all the great things happening in Henrico. Welcome to the tournament, sir.
Thank you, Mike. Good to
I
be with
see,
you.
they don't trust me here. They gave me a list of talking questions.
All right.
If
all
I
right.
could get
Don't ask me the tough ones.
exactly, and you know what? I got one good tough one every show. All right, so I don't need this right here. Henrico County's my county. What's going on new and exciting in Henrico? Because you always break news with us.
There's a lot going on right now. As we emerge out of the pandemic and making sure that our businesses stay strong. A couple of big things right now, Mike, is our Board of Supervisors just approved the construction contract on the indoor recreation center at Virginia Center Commons as part of that redevelopment. So you'll have 12 indoor full-size basketball courts, 24 volleyball courts, as well as a 4,500 seat convocation center. And then, of course, the Green City project is working its way through the approval process. It goes to our board next month for the zoning. That's going to have a 17,000 seat arena as well as residential and commercial development. So those are two big projects that we're really excited about. And the third one I would mention, which opened Memorial Day weekend, is the completely renovated, reinvented Belmont Golf Course, which is in northern Henrico, and it's just a beautiful venue there. And even for folks that don't play a lot of golf, the par 3 course that they put there, it's a 6-hole par 3. You can play in about 45 minutes. It's a lot of fun.
On the mic with Mike, ESPN Richmond 106.1. My man Anthony Romanello is here with us, talking all great things happening in Henrico and beyond. Business community, how are folks doing out there? You talk to a ton of folks between you and your team.
Yeah, our manufacturing is incredibly busy right now, Mike. We've got a lot of data center activity, advanced manufacturing, of course, logistics, and about the big Amazon project in Henrico. And so those particular sectors are really firing on all cylinders right now. We're seeing a lot of our restaurants reemerge. The hospitality industry is slowly coming back on track. Hotels still aren't where they were 2 years ago, but they're absolutely coming back. We've got a lot of them, the hotels that are involved in today's event, the hospitality industry, of course, with Richmond Region Tourism. And we're seeing more and more interest about people coming to the area for conferences, for sporting events. So I think we're well positioned to be strong.
One of the great parts about your organization is you're attracting new businesses to come to Henrico. But you guys got a hands-on with the ones who are currently there, helping them to succeed.
Well, we've got a team that Ebony Atkins, and you've had her on your show, that Ebony leads, and their focus is to stay in contact with as many of our businesses as we can and make sure that we're getting them what they need, and that could be anything from approval with a county process on up to major multi-million-dollar expansions. But, we have to take care of what we've got as well as try to bring new business into the area. And so we're focused on both.
So when we talked the last time, the Zoom, the virtual courting of businesses was at hand. How are you guys back out on the road? How's that been working so far?
We are still doing a lot of electronic meetings, Mike. We have done some travel. We're holding off for a while on international travel, probably do some of that early next year. We had a couple of visits this fall, but we decided just to pull back, just to be on the safe side. Domestic travel, we anticipate doing some trips to the Northeast as well as to the West Coast, because we know that a lot of companies there are rethinking what they've got. They're in high tax states, they're in high cost states. We want to get them here where they can save money on taxes. We've got the workforce, and they're going to have a really good work environment for their business here. So that's some of a good bit of who we're targeting.
On the mic with Mike, ESPN Richmond 106.1, 5 to 7 a.m., as well as on the Choice, which is 5 105.3. We are there 2 to 3. This is business-ish, life, business, and everything in between. We touch on a number of different things, so we're not just a business show. But the one idea of it is that Virginia is #1 for business. So when you're out there, how long does it take before you let folks know that we're #1 for being business friendly?
If it takes 5 seconds, then I'm not doing my job, Mike. But I mean, and that CNBC designation is great, and what the state has done to earn it has been phenomenal. But we have to prove that every day. We can't just rest on that designation, and that means we have to meet the businesses where they are. We have to move at their speed, not our speed. And so, yeah, it's a great accolade, and we're sure bragging about it. But that doesn't mean that we can let down on our game at all.
All righty. Well, how can people find Henrico Economic Development and all the great things?
www.henrico.com. And you can reach out to any of us on our team. We'd be glad to work with you.
Any exciting things for 2022 that you'd like to share? What we do is we share big news here.
Well, I think we've got some exciting announcements coming up. I can't share them with you, Mike.
You
but
know,
stay
you
tuned.
do that? I always say, hey,
Stay
Mike, I got a
tuned.
big announcement. Can
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. That's
Stay
the
tuned
media
this
team.
fall. Stay tuned this fall. 2021 has been a great year so far for our community. One thing I didn't mention that was really exciting is we just opened 2 new high schools in Henrico, and we just expanded one of our elementary schools. We have an all-new Highland Springs High School in the east and an all-new J.R. Tucker High School in the west. And those are phenomenal facilities that our school board and board of supervisors built, and serving the students in those brand new buildings. So those are really exciting. And I think 2022 is going to be an even better year.
All righty. On the mic with Mike, my man, Anthony Romanello, sponsor of the program. We are out here at the Richmond Region Tourism Foundation Golf Tournament. Sir, thank you for coming on. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
All righty. On the mic with Mike, ESPN Richmond here. We'll be back shortly. ESPN Richmond 106.1. 106.1 is where you find us 5 to 7 a.m. on the mic with Mike. We are here out at Magnolia Green for the Richmond Region Tourism Foundation. It is the golf tournament. We have Michael McCormick here from Henrico. We are following up with Henrico. We're in Chesterfield, but we're going to get into Henrico news.
There we go.
There we go with Henrico Sports Tourism. How are you, sir?
Doing well, Mike. Thanks for having me. How
All
are
right,
you, sir?
give us all the great information about Henrico Tour. I mean, we had Dawn on before,
Correct.
singing the praises about all the great things in Henrico.
Mike, I can't emphasize enough how much we've been growing in the sports tourism avenue. I've been with Henrico County for the last 5 years. When I first started, we would have a quote unquote big tournament, once a month. Now it's every single weekend. This weekend we've got over 30 teams coming in for a softball factory showcase event, in addition to CCL soccer, which is where we're co-hosting along with Chesterfield County over at Glover Park for us. Next weekend we'll have USA softball, and then as we move into November, the event that we always look forward to is the Capital Fall Classic with the Richmond Strikers. So you name the sport, we're doing it in Henrico County, and we're looking forward to continuing to do so.
What's the process of luring events to Henrico, and how does that happen?
Yeah, so number one, we're very fortunate to be partners with Richmond Region Tourism. When you talk about sales and marketing, I doubt there's very many CVBs out there that do a better job than they do as far as showcasing our facilities, but also showing tournament organizers, hey, these guys have been doing this for a long time. They know what they're doing, and you're going to be in good hands. And it really sells itself. I mean, I always tell people, my job is easy. I don't have to sell. I just got to make sure that we do a good job of showing people a good time and a good product when they're here.
That's a tough job, but
hey,
somebody got to do it.
Hey, exactly. And I'm fortunate enough also to be buoyed by the folks at Rec and Parks, from ball fields to trades to custodial, you name it. We're top of the line as far as the folks that we're trying out there doing the job. So
One of the things that Dawn had talked to us about was during the pandemic, Henrico fared pretty well because all the outdoor sports were still able to come and happen.
correct.
That's, and for folks, I don't think people understand and realize that. Let's talk about some of the facilities that happen in Henrico from the sports perspective.
Correct. So my personal favorite is Dory Park, simply because I live right next door to it out in the Verona district. We've got 7 multi-purpose fields out there, as well as 6 softball fields that we can utilize for high-class softball. We're in the process of building a brand new stadium, full-size baseball field out there as well, which leads to RF&P right in the central part of the county, where we already have the stadium, along with 3 softball fields that we can utilize and a multi-purpose field as well. We've got Glen Allen Softball Complex with 4 top-of-the-line softball fields as well. But moving farther down the line, what we're really excited about is the indoor complex that we're building at Virginia Center Commons, the former Virginia Center Commons Mall, which will give us the ability to have 12 basketball courts, 24 volleyball courts right in the middle of the Mid-Atlantic corridor. So that's going to be a real game changer for us.
That is a game changer. That is something that people come in here to make happen. Local residents benefit from that as well.
Exactly. Because one of the big draws for us with that is the ability to host high school convocations, right? So we'll be able to do that, have a 4,200 seat, arena there. And every June, all of the Henrico County high schools will be able to benefit, as well as, youth association basketball throughout the year, and local tournament organizers.
So
as well.
that's because that's when everyone goes down to VCU now.
Correct.
And so Henrico gets some of that.
Correct.
There you go.
Win-win for all of us.
That's a win-win. On the mic with Mike. Michael is here with us. How can people find you out there?
Check us out at henrico.us. Click on the Rec and Parks tab. You can also look for us at visithenrico.us as well.
All right. On the mic with Mike. We are here out at the Richmond Region Tourism Foundation Golf Tournament. The day is, you couldn't pick a better day.
Could not. Hopefully I can hit it straight today. We'll see.
Well, you can't blame the weather. If you don't.
Exactly. It's on me.
It is on you. All right, man. Nice to meet
Mike,
you.
great
On the
meeting you.
mic with Mike, ESPN Richmond 106.1. We'll be back shortly.
Take care.